Welcome to Cooking with Miss O and Gus Arundel.
How you doing, Mary Beth?
Doing
I'm
good.
back again.
I know, I love
I'm
it.
so glad to be here.
He keeps
I
me
love
from
to come
being
here.
nervous. He is so good.
I always learn something, and you've got so many toys and stuff to play with. Yeah, this is fun.
Well, that's an honor to me because you know I was a teacher, and you can tell people that are really smart. You are very smart.
Oh, I don't know
And what you
that.
did with those chickens and stuff. You know, a lot of people might not know this story, but my daughter had cystic fibrosis, diagnosed at Emory, and then after 3 months of eating the whole wheat berry, and my whole wheat berry is right over here. This is the oats we're going to show you today, Gus. My daughter got well, and she had the new test and the old test. And then they died. Then 3 months later, she had already turned gray. Emory had only given her 9 days to live.
Oh, Lord.
And the 10th day was her second birthday. And so we were supposed to stay at the Ronald McDonald House. They sent us home and said, go home and enjoy her because she only has about 9 days left to live. And then a precious lady who was a Seventh-day Adventist came to our house. She called up and she said, I think I can help you. And I didn't know what a Seventh-day Adventist was, but they are Christians. And but they eat Old Testament food. And a new study has just come out that the Seventh-day Adventists and the Jews that follow the biblical rules are the healthiest people in the world.
Yes, yes. A lot of the Jewish religion, you know, like they want, it's food safety.
Right.
Is what it is.
It really
Yes,
is. You're
yes.
right. And a lot of our practices of safety here in America came from
That is correct.
the Bible, from the Jewish laws.
That is correct.
Right.
That is correct. And, you know, it was I guess you would say, a part of religion and way of life, all like that they did, but a whole lot of it is based on the reason why they did that was food safety.
You're exactly right.
That's right.
That's right. And we're not as careful because we think that we're just safe, period, and you have to be careful with raw meats and
You
raw
sure
stuff.
do. I asked Mary Beth, and she said, we're not going to cook on the show, Gus. And I said, what? I thought it was a cooking show. And she says, we're not going to cook. We're going to talk about healthy, what foods are good for you and what are healthy for you, which
Superfoods for
is
us,
Mary
yes.
Beth's method of operandi. But we're not going to cook anything. We're just going to talk about healthy foods. Is that correct?
We are. We're
Okay.
going to, and I forgot, we're going to make a snack that moms can have in the refrigerator for when the kids come home.
So we do get something to eat.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Right, great.
You're getting bread to take home,
Great.
Gus. There's
Okay.
2 loaves over there for
sweet.
you and
I always
Tom.
look forward to that.
And I baked it this morning just for y'all, okay?
Which you always do, and it's
So,
greatly appreciated.
Thank you, and that's what healed my daughter. But I've realized a lot of people come up to me in the grocery store and stuff and say, is steel cut oats good? And is this kind of oats good? I've had a lot of those questions, and I want to answer that right now. If it's in the grocery store and it's already been ground or flaked or whatever it is dead if it's past 72 hours.
Correct.
So it has no nutrition. So the reason why we have so much constipation and hiatal hernias and indigestion in America is because the Bible said the daily bread. The reason why it said that is because God made the wheat berries so that it would be ground right then when you make the bread and you eat it.
Baked during that day.
Right,
That is your daily
right.
bread.
Yes.
Good for you. I didn't know that.
72 hours, and it goes slowly downhill. After 72 hours, if it's a flour of any kind, oats, wheat, you know, barley, any of that, it is dead. So that's what healed my daughter, was eating food
Correct.
alive.
And I know you still do. You still grind all your
yes.
own grains, don't you?
Yes, here's my grinder. I have 2 different grinders. This is my easiest one. And since I'm home alone now, and I walked out of the camera, I guess, I'm sorry. And y'all
come on
seen
back
that. Yes. And then this is what it looks like. I do whole wheat, and it looks white, but I've just ground that this morning.
This was ground out of...
That was what was left over from this, yes.
Correct, but it's ground out of what? Just
whole wheat.
Whole
and
wheat
right
grains.
here, yes. Let me see which one is here, right here.
That's a whole wheat.
Yes,
grain,
it's
what it
right
looks
next to the flour there, and that's why it is wonderful when you grind it. Now, a lot of people let it sprout. I don't do that because I've gotten such success just with grinding, and sprouting is a lot bigger thing to do than
Sprouting as in putting moisture on it and letting it...
I think so. I think that's what it is. I have several people that do it, and I'm going to go see it and see what it does.
That
but
is really interesting. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be even better for you than just grinding it like that.
No, I can't find where it
Okay,
is.
okay,
And so
can't
I'm
find
not
the
sure
facts
I
on
really
that.
want the trouble.
Or the roughage, the greenage, the salad.
Yes, yes, you're right,
Grind the
you're
salad
right.
up.
So, and here is what the oats look like. They're usually lighter than the root berry. See, that's darker. This is lighter.
Right.
See?
I don't know if you can.
Yeah, and this is a longer, thinner one.
It
And
sure is. These,
and it-
yes.
So
yeah.
that's what your bread was made of. So right now we're going to make you this. Now I want to tell you too, everybody has asked me about how do I find stuff out, and I was a teacher, so I researched stuff. My daughter was dying. I had 9 days for her to live. People in Clemson did an hour at churches praying for her. I didn't want to lose her. I wanted a big family. I married an economics teacher, and when he proposed to me, he said, I said to him, I said, before I say yes, I said, we need to talk about what we want. He said, what do you want, Mary? I said, I want 12 children.
Oh, wow.
I know, and you know what? He just smiled. He hesitated, and it was a long hesitation. And he smiled, and he said, how about if we just start with one?
And
And that was perfect. And I said,
yeah, I
I'll
like
marry
that.
you.
I said,
That's
yeah,
what I
let's start
said.
with one.
Yes.
I like that. See
And
what
because I
happens.
came from a broken home, and I watched the Waltons, and they were my favorite show. And in the Bible, they had so many big families, and I wanted that. And so we had 6 children, but only 2 lived. And then Emory told us those weren't going to live either.
Oh, it's awesome.
So
What news?
then they told us at Emory that losing one child was 5% chance that our marriage would make it. Losing both of them, we had no chance for our marriage to make it. And I was holding Marie, and Dr. Kaplan, who was the head of the cystic fibrosis office over there, and I think he still is, he was a short man like me, and Tom went and sat down on a stool with his back to me. And I never really hardly saw Tom cry in our marriage. But his shoulders started to shake. No sound was coming. Dr. Kaplan went over to him, put his arm around him, and said, Tom, I'm sorry about this diagnosis. I really am. But he said, we're going to try our best to give your other child more time. And that time was only 2 years that they could give us at that point. So I didn't cry till we got out in the car. He said, take her home and just enjoy her. So when we got in the car, I just started crying. And I said, Tom, we're going to get a divorce? He said, no, Mary, this is going to be terrible. It's going to be awful. He used a word that I'm not going to use on the show, of course, and he said, but our marriage is not going to break up. We have the Lord. The Lord knows what he's doing. If he's taking our kids home early, he will take care of us here.
That's right.
And he
Only,
said,
only God knows.
that's exactly right. So I just thought, you know, he said, Mary, it's going to be hard. We're going to get mad at each other. We're going to have troubles. Well, then this lady comes in 2 days later. We just went to praying, and then God sent this lady, and it was wonderful.
And you didn't know
I didn't know anything about any of this. She spent 3 months, taught me all of this, and in the 3rd month, they tested Marie again, and Marie did not have cystic fibrosis, and it was a miracle. Is that not something?
That is a
So they
miracle.
didn't
What a
even
great
test our
story.
other child because of that, and they didn't need to, and they were surprised. And then the last Christmas Tom had, his Christmas present on December 06 was a new study came out, and he told me, looked on the internet, we were told to look on cystic fibrosis, and it showed that the medical study, that if you feed a child with cystic fibrosis the whole wheat berry, the child will live and be well and healed. And that was 18 years after God gave it to us. Is that not amazing?
That is amazing.
And then he died on September 11th, 2007, and he got his Christmas present. He knew that God had
September
really
the
done
11th, though. That's a
yeah, and he was a
bad
history
day.
teacher.
Yeah.
He was a history teacher, I'm sorry. So this is what I learned from this lady.
Okay.
And she was wonderful. And I talk about her in my cookbook, and we need to go to a break. Thank you so much.
New day to get it right. Hoping the sweet melody I hear.
back again.
Yes, we are.
With Mary Beth's contraptions.
That's true, isn't it?
It is. You've got some of the neatest toys. You really
No,
do.
I love it.
Yeah.
So this is my Bosch, where I make my bread, but now I've turned it up on its side, and I
Now,
have this.
And they call this a Universal Plus
Yes, Bosch.
800 watt
Yes,
grinder.
yes. No,
Okay.
it's
Nope.
it's not a grinder.
Not a grinder.
It's a mixer, and
Okay.
it does flake.
Okay.
And they don't do grinding with this. I have to do a regular grinder.
I understand. So this is flaking,
Yes,
and do you have to buy this attachment?
yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay, and they don't make this attachment anymore, so you have to look online to get it. I got it when they were still selling them, but they don't do it
They
anymore.
sell
But it
something
still fits this.
Similar?
No,
No.
not as far as I know, not now. But they've just come out with this. This is a newer one.
Uh-huh.
I've
then
worn
what-
out 3 Bosches.
Pay no attention to the machine. No.
Yes, yes.
That's
Now,
great. Okay, and then where did we get the grain, Mary Beth?
Okay, I get that at Wheat Montana. They're on my website. You can see it.
On your
And
website,
I
Wheat
get
Montana.
50-pound bags.
Right, and you order it online, they ship it to you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
It sure is pretty.
It is, isn't it? The wheat is
It's
a
very,
real
very
pretty.
clean.
Yes, it is. And they're a very clean
clean company.
farm. Yes. Okay,
Okay,
and then I
so
just
you
pour a
pour it
little
in.
bit in here. And then you can do I do my granola with this. I do my,
And we're doing this to make the bread.
no, I do this to make my granola.
Okay,
But
excuse
you
me.
can
That's-
put it in the bread.
Okay.
And you can also put it on top of the bread. Let me show you.
Okay. It's going to take off.
Yes. We'll get us a whole cup here.
Oh, that's fun. Earlier we said, and I'm so
Amen.
proud, I didn't think we were going to make anything to eat, but we're going to make granola bars.
No.
No?
I'm going to make them for you next time
Okay.
because we're going to have this, and then we can just put that on our, if we want to, we can just eat it like this, okay?
Right.
But I just wanted to show everybody, this is the kind of oatmeal.
Taste that.
See how it tastes. Some of my little, is it good? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah,
Good.
kind of tastes like cardboard.
That's why
It's good for you.
it's excellent for you.
It is
Everything
good for you.
that
No,
they
it didn't
tell
taste
you,
bad at all. It's just good.
To be honest with you, everything they tell you about processed food is really what it was in the state that God made it.
Correct.
So when they tell you that oats are wonderful for you and get it at the store and get it in that box, it won't do what God made it to do because it's already dead.
Correct.
So
And I
that's
believe,
why.
and you've told me before that say if you bake your bread or you grind this right there, you need
Yeah.
to eat it within 72 hours.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it progressively loses its nutrients.
That's exactly
So
right.
if you eat it in 48 hours, it's not going to have as much good stuff as it had in 24.
No. So try to eat it. Don't make so much.
Right?
You know,
Make it fresh.
yeah.
Like we were talking about before. I love what you said about the Bible, about your daily bread.
Yes.
And take it literally, and they made their bread every day because it was healthy for you.
And they didn't have antibiotics. They
That's
didn't,
correct.
You know, and
Yes.
so we've wondered how the pioneers were so healthy and everything like that. They
They-
did this every day.
Absolutely. And
Every
they
day.
got their immune system good from eating good food.
Exactly. That's how
did.
they could beat
That's how they
different
survived,
diseases. The
yes.
reason we have so much cancer today, this oats, that wheat berry, people that eat whole wheat, fresh ground, they said do not get cancer.
I believe that. I really do think that the cancers and stuff like that, a lot of sicknesses comes from
It is.
processed foods.
And if you notice, we still did grinding in the 40s.
Yes.
And look,
And you know, Mary Beth, you and I've talked about before too. And when you go to the grocery store, if you want to eat healthy, you want to eat on the outside of the grocery store. Stay away from the middle.
except the bakery is on the outside too. So
Well,
I
that's
tell
true.
them, skip around the bakery.
but
Yes.
the fruits, the vegetables, the
Yes,
fresh meats,
meats
fresh
and all
meats,
that
everything
stuff.
like that.
Yes,
That is correct.
Now home canning, I think, is a little better because, you know, you get it out of your garden and you do it.
Yep.
Because you do need stuff in the wintertime. I like to freeze up stuff because I think it stays pure that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. What do you think about freeze dried?
I don't really know. I don't know
I
because I
mean, I
haven't
don't
seen the
either. I was
process.
just-
I need to look that up and see. I'm not sure. But let me tell you something.
Yeah, like
Cholesterol.
you put it in,
I
and
know.
25 years later.
I know. Probably probably for dates and stuff like that. But let me tell you this, with the lemon, organic lemon, if you have this and take it once a day, it cleans the cholesterol out of your arteries. God has made something for everything that goes wrong with us. He really has.
Well, you've got to think too. Every kind of antibiotic, every kind of
Right.
of drug, it comes from the earth. I mean,
it
you
does.
know,
It
it's
comes
not.
from a plant, but they so change it.
That's correct.
So that we have a lot of problems. Now, almonds and walnuts,
Oh, great.
pecans. Almonds are the highest, I think, in protein. You just don't realize.
Yes.
But this doesn't have the BHT in it. That's why I buy these. These are at Ingles, and I had a hard time finding nuts that did not have BHT on them. And BHT is a terrible chemical.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and tell us about BHT.
Well, you don't want any of it.
I know, and it's been put on our
BHT
food.
is short for a word that I can't pronounce.
Me neither. But I know it's really bad. And you know what? It's in all kinds of processed food.
It sure is. All you got to do is read the label.
I do. And I tell, all of this here has none of that in there. Now, apples and tomatoes are absolutely wonderful. Spinach, if you don't like kale, spinach has the same nutrition as kale. So you're not going to lose if you don't like kale. A lot of people, kale is real popular now.
Correct.
But a lot of people don't like it. And they say, oh, just choke it down. They don't have to choke it down. Just get some spinach, you know. and
Get
it'll
the
be
same
fine.
properties.
Yes, same properties. And
Nothing better than spinach salad.
Huh?
Nothing
I
better
know.
than spinach
And I
salad.
love spinach salad. I do a vinaigrette like,
Uh-huh.
and I make that, and it has lemon in it, has the strawberries, has the onion in it that I have out there, has the spinach in it, and it's wonderful. I mean, salads are wonderful. You can do them with fruit or with vegetables.
Or top them with chicken.
Oh, I always top them with chicken. I eat a lot of salads. My family was from Europe, so we ate salads all the time.
Yes,
So-
and salads are so good for you.
Yes, and what I do with your chicken is I take those 6, I cook them up,
Uh-huh.
and then I put them in another bag, you know, where they're individually wrapped, and all I have to do is chop them.
Uh-huh.
And I have a little Whopper chopper, so it comes out real nice. So every salad I make, I just dump that on it. I have a whole breast
Got you
on my
kind of
salad.
already chopped up for you.
Yes,
even
yes,
things. That's
yeah,
great.
and it's, you know, if you freeze them like that, it's
And you
wonderful.
and you just bake it though. Is what you do. Bake your chicken.
Sometimes I bake it. Sometimes I just cook it in the water, so I have the broth.
Okay.
And then I put right over there. I put the organic garlic.
Garlic,
I do that onion.
correct?
I do celery, and I do a carrot.
Carrot.
And then I make the broth. I boil the chicken, make the broth, and then take that stuff out. Freeze these into separate bags, just like y'all do, and then put my broth into cup-sized bags. And that way I can just use that for a gravy or for soup or anything, you know.
That's a great idea. man.
And then if anybody comes in, I just make more salad, cut up more chicken. I just have to take it right out.
Right out of the bag though.
Yeah, you know, and that's what people aren't prepared.
I agree, and some of your shows are so good on stuff that you show that you can make, put up, and eat it later on in the week. You
Yes,
know, and
yes.
for meals, it really is. That's what I like, because it's sometimes it's tough to cook every meal. You know,
It is
You got-
nowadays because
yes.
moms aren't home and
right.
they're frazzled because they have to feed their family healthy. And
That's right.
we're going to do something here to help
Okay.
moms out.
What we going to do?
We've got our canning jars, and I just love these things. Okay. And
Where did
we're
you
gonna-
get them?
I got them at Walmart.
At Walmart, where these little ball canning jars is? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're wonderful.
Well, it does got ball in it. And what kind of portion is that?
A small portion.
Just very small.
Yes. So
Okay.
when their kids come in,
Okay, and this is making something for the kids.
Yes.
And we're putting a little bit of
yogurt, Stonyfield. Now you can get the plain. A lot of people like the plain. That's good.
correct.
If
I think
you
this
don't-
is French vanilla.
It is, and it's my favorite. And if you don't want, they do have a little sugar in it. If you don't want so much sugar, cut it with half and half, the plain and the vanilla, and it's fine. If some moms don't want their kids to have so much sugar from it. Okay. Now, we're gonna put this in here.
But you can buy it without the sugar.
Yogurt and milk has natural sugars
that
in it.
natural,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Fructose or whatever.
So that's, but the yogurt has
Okay.
less.
All right,
Now,
so we got the yogurt
we've
in there.
washed this. and,
Yes, we washed the strawberries.
And would you please cut off an end of a strawberry
I
for
would
me,
love to.
please?
Got my favorite green knife here.
Yes. Now, there's some little tricks you can have. This is a strawberry one. And we're going to cut one strawberry, and then we're going to go to,
Oh, and slice it.
yes. Then I don't have to do all
Okay,
of
you
that.
you want more than one
I think I'll
strawberry?
do it like this. Yes, please.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, that's it. That looks good already.
And
You don't have to be a kid to enjoy this.
Oh, I know, I know. And blueberries are wonderful like this
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yes, and if you want to, you can put in some nuts. Now, if you have kids over to your house, don't give them nuts unless you ask the mom first.
'Cause they
so
might
many
be allergic.
kids- That's right. So many kids are these days.
Yeah.
And some of
Well,
the
like you go to the restaurants now, you know, and they'll say,
nuts
caution,
are-
may be some nuts in here.
Yes, they
yeah,
do.
I always figured there was anyway.
Now, that is a wonderful little snack. We can just put
That
this
is.
on,
With
and
the
it'll
yogurt.
stay fresh in the refrigerator
For how long?
as long as that date is.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. I mean, I'm talking a week, 2 weeks.
Well, you go by your date on
Right.
here.
What do you think about the strawberries? About how long they last?
I would eat it that day because
Okay,
it could
that'd be
get
fresh.
mushy.
Yeah, it could, yeah,
See, but if you're not gonna, if you don't want to put the fruit on, then you could just
Yeah,
put the
but what a
yogurt
good,
in here.
great idea. It'd be good for 2 days anyway and make it up.
That's right.
And when the kids, kids come home
in.
from school,
A lot
then
of
you
kids
just take
come
it
home
out
to an empty
and
house.
cold, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah, and they
so-
can take it out themselves. Yeah.
That's right,
Yes.
and they're not going to get
'Cause
hurt,
so
and
many,
it's not plastic.
so many moms have to work these days.
They do, and
really do.
I had to work too at first. Now we have to go to another commercial, y'all.
Grace, get another chance. The sun is slowly rising.
Welcome back. We are talking today about superfoods, and everybody asked me a list and all. I don't have to give you a list right now because at Walmart you can go and get this right now, and it talks about all of what I use in my cookbook and
It does.
here,
It's,
and it talks about why you need to eat healthy chicken. And Springer Mountain is the only one, unless I buy at a farm where they're organic, can I get clean chicken.
Thank you. Thank you. It is. Springer Mountain Farms is the best chicken. Back to your magazine here. It's a Time magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100 healthiest foods to satisfy your hunger.
I know.
And it says that it will be on display in the stands for until June of 17. So
Oh,
June
okay.
of
Thanks
this
for
year
saying
is
that,
when it
Gus.
is. And it's got some good stuff about chicken. I'd like to tell you about Springer Mountain Farms chicken. Springer Mountain Farms chicken is the best chicken you can buy. It's never fed any antibiotics. They're always raised cage-free. They're never fed any animal byproducts ever. No animal to animal byproducts go back into it. It's fed an all vegetable diet. We just feed them corn, a little bit of soybean meal, and soybean oil is what we feed them. Some vitamins. And it's really good. We give them more room to roam, which makes them more tender. They're less stressed. And in this book right here, it talks about some chicken, and I'd like to read to quote to you out of it. It says chicken. Says meat is one of the most filling foods you can eat thanks to its high protein content. The fat is present in dark poultry, which is dark meat. The fat that is present in dark poultry meat contains a hormone which keeps it in makes you fuller and more satisfied longer. Now that is the dark meat. The white meat's good for you too, and it's better than beef for you. It's got more protein than beef. Chicken breast has the most protein of any meat that you can buy,
right.
and it's lower in fat and higher in protein, and it's just really, really good for you. And so please eat Springer Mountain Farms chicken. You can buy it at Ingles. You can get it at Publix. You can get it at Bilo.
How about Food Line? Do you have
Food Line, you can
too?
get it at Food
That's
Line
right.
too. In fact, we co-brand with Food Line. You'll see on the package at Food Line, you'll see our Springer Mountain Farms logo, and it'll have the American Humane Association on it.
Does it really?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Because those are all the ones in the Clemson area.
That is correct.
So-
We do sell Food Line. Thank you.
That's
Thank you for
wonderful.
reminding me.
And sometimes you have to, if you're not going to buy their chicken, you need to look at it because, and I'm not going to name the stores, but a lot of them are buying stuff from overseas. So that
They do.
means it is coming here from a far place, and how healthy can that be?
And we've said this before. I would like to thank Mary Beth so much because a lot of people, and we do sponsor the show and everything, but we didn't find Mary Beth. Mary Beth found us, and she came to us, and she called us, and she said, I found your chicken. It's the best tasting chicken I've ever had in my life, and the chicken broth is clear, it's not yellow, and I want to come see y'all. And she came over and saw us, and we talked about it, and we became great friends on that. But like I said, Mary Beth found me. I did not find her. I was real proud of that, too.
So we really, we love the chicken. I won't eat anything else. I don't eat chicken in restaurants a lot.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Read me some of your fun facts you've got
Oh,
down
yes,
here.
on celery. I was raised on celery, And celery, if you eat one stalk in the evening, it will help you because it calms you. And with celery, it has minerals, magnesium, and an essential oil in it which soothes the nerves. Now, my grandmother we had celery all the time in salads and everything, just raw. We ate a lot of raw food. And so I really love that, and I was surprised to see that about that. The other thing is lemons have
Gets rid of
help with
cholesterol.
cholesterol. Thank you, and I see we have to go. So thank you so much,
Thank
Gus,
you.
for being here, and thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth, and thank y'all for watching.
Yes.
The sun is slowly rising across the hill.